I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Oh,
Intro.
intro. This week's theme is back to school. When Bobby O'Brien thinks of back to school, he thinks of making plans as well as hosting parties. He's planning to spend his life in a new direction. The title of his icebreaking speech this morning is, "What am I going to do with my life?" Please welcome our newest Toastmaster, Bobby O'Brien.
Yay!
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Toastmaster. Lately, I've become ashamed to walk outside my own house for fear of neighbors seeing me. A wave of insecurity surges through me, and I think it's because my neighbors perceive me differently from the way everyone else does. For instance, my neighbors who live directly across the street from me, with the exception of me crashing their parties, and I do bring a case of beer when I go over there, we just kind of keep our communication to a minimal, "Hey, how you doing?" But they're really hardworking people, and every day they come home to get relief from their busy lives, and they just see me, a 26-year-old, in my garage, breakdancing with fervor, just enraptured. And it's not just them, it's all my neighbors. You know, they're starting to realize, their eyebrows are raising, and they're recognizing a failure to launch. And on September 8th, I'm going to be 26, I'm unemployed, and I live with my parents. What am I doing with my life? I went to college, and I majored in political science because I enjoyed the education. People usually ask me, "Oh, what do you do with that? What do you do with that?" And I would say, I guess it was a political response. I'd say, well, I go because I genuinely enjoy the education of it, and you know, it's a well-rounded, yada yada. Well, after graduating in the spring of 2011, I moved back up more. I thrusted myself upon my extended family in Jersey City, and my selling point to them was that there's better job prospects in New York than Central Florida, but it's not like I really bothered to look for any work. And my real motive for being up there was just to breakdance in the New York hip-hop scene. That's what I do, I breakdance ever since I was a kid. And it quickly became apparent that I was spending a year partying as opposed to looking for work. And political scientist Robert Axelrod would probably label me as a free rider, but my brother would label me as a mooch. And it was becoming apparent that I was becoming a major burden on my family, so I had to do something. So I tried to apply for a job up at Conrail in New Jersey, and after a botched interview, I moved back in with my parents, feeling defeated and bitter. And I made the brash decision of taking entrepreneurship at Seminole State, and I did really well in my courses, but I still have no idea what I want to do with it. Well, I was back in Florida, occasionally doing gigs and teaching dance, but I was dreading the end of the entrepreneurship program because then what? And even my girlfriend at the time was starting to wonder about me, which leads me to my next topic, is that my 9-month relationship with my girlfriend recently ended. She started to see me for what I was, which was unmotivated and directionless. One of the last things she said to me was, "You're dancing your life away." And this isn't the first time this happened to me. Women who usually, perceive me as this charismatic dancer, they eventually leave me realizing that I'm not going anywhere. And my friends helped me avert my mind from the pain in my heart. And instead of taking an introspective moment and wondering why this pattern of destructive events continues to happen, I just started breaking feverishly in my garage, training the entire summer for this dream gig that was going to be on a cruise ship that I'd be able to be a breakdancer on. And reality hit really hard upon discovering that the cruise line, they're ending their contract with breakdancers because it's cost efficient. And two, B-boys are a liability. They act like rock stars trashing hotel rooms. They have a really bad reputation. Not everyone, but a lot of them do. And real quick background, growing up in my house was like Leave It to Beaver. I had really hardworking parents that got us out of Jersey City, and they raised us in Longwood, which was a lot safer. And as a kid, I was always dancing ever since I could rewind a Michael Jackson tape. And I was always out of my seat, entertaining the class or cracking jokes. And I wasn't a bad kid, I was just really hyperactive and hypersocial. My dance inspirations are really big in Japan. They're huge, but they also live on welfare in Newark. And as you know, it's kind of a sad story, but at the age of, I recently met one of my heroes, which is a dancer in New York City, and he's 46, and he's homeless. And he pretty much told me the same thing that my parents have been saying since 15, which is work on your career. And I kind of can describe my relationship with dancing as an abusive relationship. I'm 26 and I'm starting to have a lot of injuries. I even have a callus on my head.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's also an emotional toll as well, just because I feel like I've been wasting time. Even at UCF, a lot of opportunities for networking or internships were passed because I was always dancing. And, you know, I usually took the easy road, and that road got me to a driveway, and that driveway got me to a garage at my parents' house. And I'm tired of living this way, and I want to live up to my potential.